Commissioner Gordon, Bane has escaped.
From the moment you drew your first breath, the rules were set against you, designed to trap you in mediocrity, to chain you to the grind, to blind you to your potential. The architects of this system have plotted every step of your life. They dangle comfort as a prize, reward obedience with scraps, and punish rebellion with isolation. The weak accept this with bowed heads and empty smiles, grateful for their cage. The strong, however, understand the game for what it is, a rigged deck dealt by cowards who fear anyone who refuses to play along. Society is a machine, and you are its cog. Your individuality was dismantled before you could even name it, replaced with programming that serves the system, not yourself. You're told what to think, what to want, what to fear. The weak follow these instructions, living lives scripted by unseen hands, believing that conformity is security. But the strong reject this script. They take the pieces of the machine and turn them into weapons, carving their own path in a world designed to crush it. The odds have always been against you. The weak see this as an excuse to give up before they've even begun. But the strong see the challenge as an opportunity. A rigged game is not unwinnable. It simply requires a different approach. The strong don't follow the rules. They rewrite them. They don't play fair. They play to win. To succeed in a world built to keep you down is the ultimate rebellion. And rebellion is the strongest act of self-creation. The system feeds on compliance, on the masses who accept their place and do as they're told. The weak believe the lie that the game is fair, that hard work will reward them, that patience will deliver what they deserve. The strong laugh at this. They know that fairness is a weapon used to pacify, that reward comes only to those who take it, and that patience is the slow death of ambition. The strong are not patient, they are relentless. Society plans your life to ensure you never question it. School, work, retirement. The cycle is laid out before you like a path carved into stone. The weak walk this path, without hesitation, believing it leads somewhere meaningful. But the strong see it for what it is, a treadmill that goes nowhere. The strong step off the path, breaking the chains of expectation, forging a road of their own. It is harder, yes, but it leads somewhere real. Playing a rigged game requires strategy, not submission. The weak think their only option is to play by the rules, to hope that somehow, despite the odds, they'll come out on top. The strong know better. They play with cunning, with ruthlessness, exploiting the flaws in the system, using its rules against it. The strong are not victims of the game. They are masters of it, bending it to their will, reshaping it to suit their purpose. The odds are stacked against you because those in power fear what you could become. They fear your potential, your ambition, your capacity to rise above the role assigned to you. The weak internalize this fear, shrinking themselves to fit the mold. But the strong use it as fuel. To be feared is to be powerful, and to rise in the face of that fear is to claim that power as your own. Game is rigged because your victory threatens the very foundation of the system. To play anyway is an act of defiance, of rebellion, of strength. The weak think surrender is the only option, that a rigged game cannot be won. But the strong understand that the game is not the end. It is the beginning. To play is to fight, to struggle, to endure. To play is to learn the system, to find its weaknesses, to exploit them. The strong do not aim to win within the game. They aim to destroy it entirely. The game is not your master. It is your enemy. The weak see the system as immutable, as something that must be obeyed. But the strong see it as a challenge, as something to be torn apart, rebuilt, transformed. The game is not the limit of your potential. It is the measure of it. The strong rise above the rules, the odds, the system itself proving that no game, no matter how rigged, can contain them. What's worse is not that they control the game, but that they control how you think about it. They've trained you to see in black and white, to believe that every question has a simple answer, that every choice is binary. The weak fall into this trap, believing that the world is as straightforward as it appears, that the lines drawn for them are unbreakable. But the strong see the gray, the vast expanse of possibility that exists beyond the rigid dichotomies imposed on them. The gray is chaos, yes, but it is also magic. It is where the rules are rewritten, where the unimaginable becomes reality. The black and white is a cage, and the weak lock themselves inside, believing it is for their protection. They cling to absolutes, to the safety of clear distinctions, to the illusion of certainty. But the strong break those locks, stepping into the gray, into the unknown. The gray is not comfortable. It is disorienting, treacherous, and unforgiving. But it is also where freedom lives, where the strong create their own paths, their own answers, their own rules. The weak fear the unknown. The strong embrace it. Conditioning is the system's greatest weapon. From birth, you are taught to see the world in a way that benefits the architects of the game. They draw the line, set the boundaries, define what is possible and what is not. The weak accept this vision as reality, never questioning who drew the map they follow. But the strong rip the map apart, stepping into the uncharted territory that lies beyond. The strong know that the gray is not just a space. It is a weapon, a tool to dismantle the illusions of control. The gray is where creativity thrives. The weak are taught to fear complexity, to seek the simplicity of black and white, to avoid the messiness of nuance. But the strong understand that the gray is where innovation happens, where new ideas are born, where the impossible becomes possible. To see in black and white is to limit yourself, to reduce your potential to what is easy to understand. The strong refuse to be limited, embracing the chaos of the gray to create something new. The black and white is a lie, and the weak are complicit in perpetuating it. They enforce the boundaries, policing themselves and others, ensuring that no one strays into the dangerous territory of the gray. But the strong do not seek permission to explore. They take it. The gray is not a forbidden zone. It is a battlefield, and the strong are its conquerors. To live in the gray is to reject the constraints of the game, to rise above the binary thinking that traps the weak. The unknown is terrifying, and that is why the system keeps you away from it. The weak see the unknown as a threat, a dark void where anything could happen, where control is impossible. But the strong see it as an opportunity, a blank canvas on which to paint their own vision. The unknown is not to be feared. It is to be mastered. The strong step into the void, not because they know what lies ahead, but because they are willing to face whatever it may be. To think in black and white is to surrender your agency. The weak do this willingly, believing it makes their lives easier, simpler, more manageable. But the strong understand that simplicity is a trap, that clarity is often an illusion designed to keep you from questioning. The gray is messy, yes, but it is also honest. It is where you find the gaps in the system, the flaws in the game, the cracks through which you can escape. The gray is where power resides. The weak give their power away, letting the architects of the game define the terms, set the rules, dictate the outcomes. But the strong reclaim their power by stepping into the gray, by refusing to play by the rules, by creating their own definitions of success and failure. The gray is not a place of weakness. It is a place of strength, of resilience, of limitless potential. To see the gray is to see the game for what it truly is, a construct, a manipulation, a lie. The weak accept the game as reality, never questioning its purpose, its origins, its limitations. But the strong tear it apart, exposing its weaknesses, exploiting its flaws, using the gray to rise above it. The gray is not the absence of rules. It is the space where new rules are made, where the strong rewrite the script. Your current state is the sum of the battles you've avoided. Every choice to turn away, every excuse to delay has woven the intricate web that binds you now. It is not a linear trap, but a complex snare where each strand feeds another, reinforcing your stagnation. The weak pretend this web doesn't exist, distracting themselves with fleeting pleasures and hollow routines. But the strong know the web cannot be ignored. It must be burned. And to set it ablaze, you must start with the strand that cuts the deepest. What is causing you the most pain? Is it your body weighed down by neglect and indifference, groaning under the pressure of years unchallenged? Is it your mind, a storm of regret and self-loathing spinning endlessly with no relief in sight? The weak try to escape these questions, burying them beneath the noise of the world. But the strong confront them directly, locking eyes with the pain and daring it to consume them. Pain is not your enemy. It is your guide, pointing to what demands your attention. Problems never exist in isolation. Each one feeds the other, a sixth symphony designed to keep you in place. Your dissatisfaction with your job amplifies your resentment in relationships. Your decaying health saps the energy you need to think clearly, to plan, to act. The weak despair at the complexity, overwhelmed by the tangled mess of it all. But the strong see the pattern, understanding that to solve one is to weaken the others. Each victory is a ripple, spreading through the web, loosening the hold of the whole. The weak believe their problems are insurmountable, that the web is too thick, too strong. They give in to despair, letting the strands tighten around them, cutting deeper with each passing day. But the strong refuse to submit. They start with what is closest, what is most pressing, tearing at the strands with relentless focus. Each problem solved is a knife, a weapon to cut through the next. The strong understand that momentum is their greatest ally, that action breeds action, that victory is the fuel for further battle. You cannot solve what you refuse to face. The weak keep their problems at arm's length, hoping they will disappear on their own. But the strong step into the storm, facing the chaos head-on, dancing with the pain until it reveals its secrets. Pain is a teacher, brutal but effective. It shows you where you are weak, where you must grow, where you must change. The weak run from this knowledge, but the strong embrace it, using it to sharpen themselves, to transform. Solving your problems is not about erasing them. It is about mastering them. Each problem is an opportunity, a challenge that forces you to grow, to evolve. The weak see problems as obstacles, as reasons to give up. But the strong see them as stepping stones, as the raw material from which their character is built. To solve a problem is not to remove it from your life. It is to absorb it, to let it become part of your strength, your arsenal. Your problems are a mirror, reflecting the parts of yourself you most wish to ignore. The weak look away, afraid of what they might see, but the strong stare into the mirror, unflinching, seeing not just their flaws, but their potential. Each problem solved is a piece of the mirror shattered, revealing the image beneath, the version of yourself that lies on the other side of the web. The strong understand that this image is not given, it is earned, forged through pain and effort. The process is not linear, it is a war on multiple fronts. The weak expect progress to be smooth, predictable, easy. They retreat at the first setback, letting the web tighten around them once more. But the strong know that progress is chaotic, that victory comes in waves, that each step forward is hard-won. The strong fight not because they expect an easy path, but because they understand that the alternative is stagnation, decay, death. Your problems are not random. They are connected, each one reinforcing the other, each one holding you in place. The weak see this web and despair, believing it is impossible to escape. But the strong see it as an opportunity, a challenge to be unraveled, a system to be dismantled. To solve one problem is to weaken the entire structure, to set off a chain reaction that breaks the web apart, strand by strand. If you don't decide what you want, someone else will. Society is eager to step into that void, to fill the silence of your indecision with its own agenda. It whispers its desires in your ear until you mistake them for your own. The weak accept this, becoming vessels for someone else's ambitions, mistaking compliance for purpose. But the strong resist. They understand that to let others define your desires is to surrender the very essence of your humanity. To want nothing of your own is to be nothing at all. Purpose is not bestowed, it is claimed. The weak wait for the world to assign them a reason to exist, mistaking the chains of obligation for meaning. They shuffle through life, climbing ladders placed in front of them, believing the illusion of progress. But the strong create their own purpose, forging it in the fires of their will. Purpose is not a gift, it is a battle. The strong do not wait to be given a role, they seize one, bending it to their vision. A career is not a calling, it is a cage, if it is not of your making. The weak let society dictate their path, believing the lie that security is worth the price of freedom. They trade their time, their energy, their soul for a paycheck and a pat on the head. But the strong know that work is only meaningful if it serves a greater purpose, one they define. The strong do not climb corporate ladders, they burn them, building their own towers from the ashes. Goals are not optional. They are the framework of your existence. The weak drift through life, letting their energy be siphoned off by whatever shiny distraction society dangles in front of them. They chase status, approval, validation, mistaking these things for fulfillment. But the strong create a hierarchy of goals, investing their energy with precision, aiming for targets that matter. To live without goals is not freedom. It is slavery to the whims of others. The ladders society provides are not paths to success. They are traps. The weak climb these ladders with blind devotion, believing the promise of a better life at the top. They sacrifice their health, their relationships, their dreams, only to find that the top is as empty as the bottom. But the strong see the ladders for what they are, tools of control, distractions from what truly matters. The strong do not climb, they leap. Your life is a finite resource, and the weak squander it. They give their time, their energy, their attention to causes that do not serve them. to goals that are not their own. They waste decades pursuing dreams that were planted in their minds by others, only to look back with regret. But the strong guard their time fiercely, investing it only in what aligns with their purpose. The strong do not waste. They build. To let others assign your purpose, your career, your goals is to be a puppet, your strings pulled by unseen hands. The weak accept this role, believing it is easier, safer, more comfortable. But the strong cut the strings, refusing to dance to someone else's tune. To live on your terms is not easy. It is war. The strong fight this war every day, reclaiming their autonomy one decision at a time. Society thrives on your passivity. The weak fuel the system with their compliance, their willingness to play the game by its rules. They believe that by following the script, they will find happiness, fulfillment, success. But the strong rewrite the script, tearing it apart and crafting their own narrative. To defy the system is not rebellion, it is survival. The strong do not feed the machine, they dismantle it. The cost of conformity is your life. The weak pay this price without question, believing the illusion that the system has their best interests at heart. But the strong see through the facade, understanding that the system exists to serve itself, not those within it. To live for someone else's purpose is not living, it is existing. The strong refuse to exist, they demand to live. Society thrives on your confusion. It survives because most people wander through life without a clear destination, distracted and directionless. When you don't know what you want, the system can sell you what it wants, packaging purpose in shiny trinkets, hollow milestones, and fleeting applause. The weak fall into this rhythm, unaware that their desires have been outsourced, their ambitions hijacked. But the strong recognize the game, and they refuse to play by its rules. The machine has no loyalty, no conscience. It does not care for your happiness, your fulfillment, your growth. It wants you ignorant, unsure of yourself, reliant on its guidance. It dangles false dreams, promising that the next promotion, the next purchase, the next like will bring satisfaction. The weak chase these promises endlessly, running on a treadmill that leads nowhere. The strong step off, smashing the machine to pieces, carving their own path in the chaos. Without clarity, you are prey. The weak are devoured by this system, their potential consumed by routines designed to keep them docile. Clarity is your weapon, your shield, your salvation. To know what you want is to deny society its grip on you. The strong wield this knowledge like a sword, cutting through the noise, rejecting distractions, focusing only on what truly matters. Clarity is not handed to you. It is wrested from the jaws of the machine. Purpose is the foundation of power. Without it, you're at the mercy of anyone who claims to have the answers. The weak cling to whatever purpose is handed to them, too afraid to question its validity. But the strong build their own foundation, brick by brick, forging a purpose that serves no one but themselves. Purpose is not found in the world. It is built within you. And the strong do not wait to be given a blueprint. They create their own. The system relies on you staying small. If everyone knew what they wanted, society as it stands would collapse. The weak unknowingly perpetuate this system, mistaking their busyness for productivity, their compliance for purpose. But the strong understand that to grow, you must destroy the walls that confine you. Growth is not encouraged. It is punished. The strong rebel against this, letting their ambition shatter the limits imposed on them. To know what you want is to claim power over your life. The weak are afraid of this power, of the responsibility it brings, of the choices it demands. They choose passivity, letting the system decide for them, mistaking this surrender for security. But the strong embrace this power, understanding that it is both burden and blessing. To choose is to risk, and the strong accept this risk as the cost of freedom. Society's greatest lie is that it has your best interests at heart. The weak believe this, handing over their autonomy, their dreams, their lives. But the strong see the lie for what it is, a means of control, a way to keep the machine running smoothly. To reject this lie is to disrupt the system, to throw a wrench into its gears, to claim your place as the architect of your own destiny.